Right, so who is ready for some more predictions? It's round 32. Let's do it. Hi, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're doing round 32 predictions for the National League South 23-24 campaign, where finally a Saturday with all 24 teams back in action. Some really good games on the weekend just gone, as well as the midweek. Some really good upsets as well. Dover picking up 3 points, Eastbourne picking up 3 points, and Welling picking up 3 points. A madness weekend, but today we're here to do it all again, so let's go for it. Right, we're starting off good. It's Aveley taking on Worthing. Should be a really good game. It's second versus fifth in the league at the moment. Both teams have not been beaten in a good few weeks as well, so it's shaping up to be a really nice game. Worthing at home on the weekend, a 4-2 win over Torquay. Yeah, another fantastic result for them. They're second in the league, and I really just can't see why they won't stay there this season. I feel like it's between them and Chelmsford for that top spot, just behind Yeovil. On the other hand, Aveley, 2-2 draw down at Taunton. Not the greatest result because Taunton aren't in great form, but to go away long distance, get a point, it's never too bad. It was a wacky game as well. This is just crazy. The Aveley-Taunton 2-2, all 4 goals came within 9 minutes. Absolutely fantastic, but focus on this game. I'm going to go a Worthing win because I think they look so good. I say it all the time. Some people are going to think I'm a blooming Worthing fan soon. I'm not. I just think they're a fantastic team. So for that reason, I'm going to go a pretty narrow game, but I'm going to go Worthing 2-1. Next up, Bath City are taking on Eastbourne Borough. Bath City playoffs, Eastbourne currently relegations. Eastbourne, they did just have an absolutely fantastic win at home to Farnborough. That's a great result, but going away to a Bath City side at the moment is a completely different beast. Bath City squad looks fantastic. The amount of goals they're scoring and how many different goal scorers they have in their team is fantastic to see. But not only that, apart from Yeovil, no one has conceded less goals in the league than Bath City. So for Eastbourne, who are not scoring enough goals for my liking anyway, to go away to Bath and get a result seems highly unlikely. Not impossible, but highly unlikely. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Bath City win. Game number 3 is Braintree Town. They're taking on Dover Athletic. Now, as we mentioned, Dover Athletic, what a fantastic win against Slough. Actually managed to get them off the bottom of the league as well. They went up a whopping 1 place on goal difference. They've gone just above Havant. And although it's a great win, I think it's not going to be enough to keep them up in the long run. But God, I'd love to see them do it because what a story it'd be. What a story it'd be. But they're playing a Braintree Town side who are looking really good, 11th in the league, sitting just the 4 points off playoffs. And not only that, I've got an absolutely unbelievable striker back. Alfie Pavey has returned to the club on loan for the rest of the season. He was top goal scorer earlier in the season for the National League South, but obviously left to play National League football. Clearly hasn't worked out and he's back, and it took him 1 game and he's scoring at Truro away. So great addition for Braintree to have back. So with that addition, playing at home against a relegation side Dover, I'm going to go for a nice simple 3-1 Braintree Town win. Next up, this is a big one for me personally. It's the game I will be attending this weekend. So if you're there this weekend, please do feel free to come say hello. Always lovely to chat to people. But it's Farnborough. They are taking on Dartford. 2 teams that are really not having the seasons I expected. I expected both of these 2 sides to be a lot higher up at this point of the season, but it just hasn't worked out for them so far. Farnborough obviously recently taken Bradbury off Dartford. Really hoping he doesn't score. It's just written in the stars though. But Farnborough lost their last 4 games straight now. Dartford have lost their last 2. This is the type of game that even though Dartford away from home aren't that good, Farnborough just looks so poor as well at the moment that it could be one of them stalemate games. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I usually bang on about Dartford for too long. I'm going to call this my favourite result, 1-1. Next up, Hampton and Richmond taking on Truro City, 2 teams who in the last couple of weeks, their fortunes have massively changed. So you have Hampton and Richmond, the home side. couldn't be beaten. For months, they could not be beaten, and now they're on 3 straight back-to-back losses, well in on the Tuesday night, as well as obviously that defeat to Chelmsford. Truro, on the other hand, they won a really good winning streak. They won like 4 or 5 in a row, something really impressive, and now they're on the back of 2 straight losses, of course with that Braintree loss we just spoke about at home. So, 2 teams out of bit of form. Truro have plenty of games in hand. There's no reason that if they start finding their form again, they can't, go right back up the table again. But this is the type of game, with Hampton being at home, that I really see them getting back in the winning spirit. What? I don't know. But I think Hampton and Richmond are going to win, is the easy way to put it. And I think it's going to be narrow. I'm going to go Hampton and Richmond 2-1. Halfway through, game number 6, Havant and Waterlooville are taking on Chelmsford City. Now, Chelmsford City, I'm sure they'll be uber disappointed with conceding the 90th plus second minute against Weston-super-Mare to cost them all 3 points. I know how that feels as a Dart fan. I know how it feels. But all in all, they're definitely not going to be too upset with their season and how with the last couple of weeks have gone. They've had so many wins in a row, especially at that fantastic win against Hampton and Richmond. They're going to be in the playoffs, but as we know with the playoffs, it's just one of those lotteries that you never know who's actually going to win it. It's crazy. But they are playing Havant and Waterlooville, the only side out of the bottom 4 that didn't manage to pick up points on the weekend, which has cost them dearly. They are now sitting rock bottom at the table and looking dead and buried along with Dover. I think Eastbourne and Welling are probably the only 2 that really stand a chance, if being completely honest, but even for them it's tough. So this one's quite an easy one to call in my opinion. As much as I do hope there's an upset, I'm just not expecting it. I'm going to go Chelmsford City 2-1. Next up is a clash of a couple of the big boys in the league. It's Maidstone United taking on Yeovil Town. Now, Yeovil's form, as always, is impeccable, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. But as I went on the Tuesday, I will just say a good performance against Slough. Very good result, because Slough played extremely well. Maybe a bit controversial with the penalty, but they got the job done and got 3 points. Maidstone, on the other hand, the league form is actually not that great. Haven't won in their last 3. Maybe they're just enjoying the FA Cup run too much, which is completely understandable. It's a phenomenal feat what they're achieving at the moment. But I think they're a good side. Yeovil will struggle there. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park for them. So for that reason, I'm going to predict the score they just got when they went away to St Albans last time out. I'm going to go 1-1. Next up is Slough Town. They're taking on Weston-super-Mare. Now, this will be a proper close game. Proper mid-table clash. So close that they are actually just the whopping 1 point apart. Slough will be very disappointed with how their last week or so has panned out. The Yeovil game is an understanded defeat for any team in the league, but to lose to Dover would have been extremely disappointing, especially as they were on some really good form prior to that. Weston-super-Mare, on the other hand, a side that are looking really comfortable in the league, considering they have just been promoted from the Southern Prem. They did enjoy a really good win at home to Tonbridge. A fantastic result there, as well as we mentioned, managing to get a point away at Chelmsford in the 90th plus second minute. They must be on really good bit of confidence right now. So for that reason, I am going to predict them to go there and get something. Not all 3, but get something. They're 2 sides that do score a lot of goals. So I'm going to go for a draw, but a 2-2 draw. Game number 9 is Tonbridge Angels. They are taking on Chippenham Town. 2 teams that are looking pretty comfortable in the league at the moment. 2 teams that, if I'm being completely honest, I'm not expecting to get playoffs, but I'm also not expecting to get relegated. So the game itself, looking at Chippenham firstly away side, fantastic for them to finally get a win back on the board. Bradbury scoring in a 1-0 win against Havant and Waterlooville. I know it's only Havant, but they really need to pick up 3 points because they're on a bit of a bad spell. Lots of draws, a couple losses. So to finally get 3 points must feel lovely for them. Tonbridge, on the other hand, they found themselves hitting a bit of an inconsistent patch at the moment. You know, getting a win, couple losses, getting a win, lose again. Most recently, as we've just mentioned, to Weston-super-Mare. Before that, a win Stover. They're looking good. They look okay. I think they're a pretty good side, to be honest. Much better than I expected this year. But I think it's going to be a very narrow game. But I'm actually going to give the win to Tonbridge Angels. A very, very narrow one. So much so that I'm just going to go for a very quiet 1-0. Next up, and probably game of the week, in my opinion personally, it's 7th versus 8th. It's Torquay United taking on St Albans City. Torquay United really need to shape up, get their backsides into gear, because they are running the risk of not even making the playoffs if they keep performing how they are. They're playing a St Albans side who are on fantastic form, 4 straight wins going into the Yeovil game, and then getting a draw at home against top of the table as well. They're going to be right up for this, and very keen to go there and get all 3 points if possible. Obviously Torquay, disappointing loss to Worthing. Many teams are losing to Worthing, but I think Torquay are still going to be disappointed conceding 4 to Worthing. They're not looking great. They are definitely you know, not doing anywhere near as I thought they'd anywhere near as well as I thought they'd be doing this season. I think it's going to be uber tight. This is the one game this weekend where I actually would prefer not to call this one, because I can't see where it's going to go. I want to go St Albans, but I want to go Torquay as well. So I'm really sorry. I'm going for a boring draw, 1-1. Next up is another game that is just as big as the last, but the other end of the table. We've got Welling United. They are taking on Taunton Town. This is humongous. This is 20th versus 21st. Now, I'm sure Taunton, with all their games in hand, weren't too worried, but all of a sudden, Welling United have just got 6 points out of Hemel and Hempstead and Hampton and Richmond. They are 2 humongous wins for them, and just the right time for the confidence they need to go and play Taunton, where if they want to catch up with Taunton, especially with the games they have in hand, this is a huge game for them. They need to not lose this one. If they were to lose this, it'd be huge and very damning on their season, I'm sure. But they're playing Taunton at a great time. I know the draw against Aveley, that's definitely not a bad result. It's a great way to get some points back on the board, but Welling United at home are going to be so up for this. Taunton definitely a bit shaky, few problems at the club. Welling United, I honestly think they might go do this. I'm going to go Welling United 1, Taunton 0, and especially as they have the new manager in the wheel as well. Last but not least, probably not the most exciting game to finish on, but it is Weymouth. They're taking on Hemel Hempstead Town. Weymouth, 3 back-to-back wins. They are doing phenomenally well. For anyone that thought they might be relegation, they're definitely proving a few people wrong, including myself. I definitely didn't expect they'd be 14th in the table at this point in the season, but they are. Managed to even come to Dartford and get all 3 points. But that isn't even a big achievement anymore because we've been so bad this season. But Hemel and Hempstead Town, playoff hopes are definitely going the wrong way at the moment. I really thought they might keep pushing, but considering they've played 3 more games than some of the teams in the playoffs, that loss to Welling, extremely disappointing as well. It's going to be a very good game, but I'm actually going to back Weymouth for once, which is very rare I say that. I'm going to back Weymouth for once. I'm going to go Weymouth to win at home 3-2. So there you have it. All 12 games have been predicted for round 32 of the National League South. I hope you did enjoy. If you want to get involved, you can go into the description down below, copy and paste all 12 games and fill in the gaps with your predictions yourself and see how many you get right. If you did enjoy the video, please do make sure to subscribe if you're new. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss any videos like this. And please do make sure to like the video because it does let me know that you are enjoying the content. It does help motivate me to keep making them for all you lovely people. So until the next one, see you around.